Coach, so you said after the Game 4 win that you wanted to use. So you said after the Game 4 win, you said you wanted to use Pete in several different ways offensively. So how much did you think that unlocked him offensively, being able to get to a spot to where I guess Dallas is not able to kind of load up on him?
Yeah, it was good. It was good for us. You know, just trying to move behind the defense, coming off catch and shoot, spin downs, floppy actions. And so it was good for us, especially early on, just kind of hiding behind the defense.
Ty, do you talk about the importance of urgency at all at this point when it's 2-2 having home court?
No, I mean, we understand what's at stake. We understand we got home court back, and so we understand we got to come out with a defensive mindset and urgency tonight to start the game. And so just like we did in Game 4, so nothing changes.
Ty, what is your favorite part about the playoffs? Is it before the series begins, prepping? Is it in-game adjustments? Is it middle of the series adjustments? What's your favorite part?
In-game, middle of the series, not the prep before, just too much. So, no, I mean, because you're thinking about all different things that, there might have been 2 plays all season. Oh, you remember that play? And so you just overthink it, So just getting into the series, understanding how they're trying to attack you, and how you want to respond and what you want to do, defensively or offensively, against the team. So mine's when the series gets started, you get into the game, you kind of adjust from there.
How much did the pre-prep for the series change with that week off? Was it easier for you to prep and do what you wanted to do? See, with the Cavaliers when it was just a few days before the first playoff game?
Yeah, it was different. I mean, it was good. Like, having an over team and be able to just lock in, get some rest first, but then be able to lock in and understand what we wanted to take away from this team, how we wanted to attack them offensively. And so, our guys have done a good job with that. And so, once that first game was over, we kind of understand how they're trying to play you, how they're trying to attack you, and just kind of go from there.
Ty, what do you think Amir's done to take his game to another level and hold his own with this increased role in the playoffs?
The biggest thing with Amir is just confidence. I've always been a big fan of Amir, and he's one guy that, with PG, with Kawhi, and Nolan, with the guys we have, he's always been the one that's been kind of X'd out. And so just excited he was able to, finally crack the rotation, get consistent minutes and meaningful minutes as well. And he's been good, just his confidence level of understanding that, taking shots, being aggressive offensively, but also being able to guard multiple positions as well.
James is shooting like 66% on step backs, 50% on some of the floaters. I'm just curious, like, what level of sustainability do you think those kind of shots have, given how they're guarding him?
I hope very sustainable.
Do you look at other things though, with how they're guarding him? Do you look at maybe other options as well, with just given how astronomically high he's shooting on those?
Yeah, I saw how they tried to guard him last game, and so we just got to be, make sure we're disciplined, make sure we're poised and patient, get to our spacing. If they're going to guard like that, just attacking the basket, making the right play.
Ty, after the Harden trade, you said, I think I'm going to need 10 games to figure this out. And then you said it was a little bit longer, and then you guys did figure things out. In the playoffs, have you had to try to because this is your first playoff run with Harden, is there any more figuring out for you, and what have you learned?
No, just getting in the right positions, getting in the right spots on the floor, understand how he operates and what makes him the best player he could be, So getting in ISO situations, he's a great passer, so just being aggressive to score the basketball and making the right play with teams, with a double team, or the big steps up, he can make a lob pass or a skip pass in the corner, and just letting him be himself.
When you talk about that adjustment about the floaters the other night,
Yeah.
Is that something that, like, what kind of connection do you have with James now in the playoffs? Like, is that something that you just look at him, or is that something you tell him?
No, something I told him. I mean, he had the floater the time before. I think he made a skip pass in the corner, but the floater was wide open. And so I know his workout guy Chuck was just telling me before that, like, he was shooting the floater that morning, just working on the floater, and it was there. So I said, James, shoot your floater. And then, like I said, he said, facts. I shot it and made 5 in a row. So I mean, that's a shot to give him. So you got to be able to make it, or actually just take it.
When you look at Kyrie's relatively slow starts in games in this series, obviously you see what he can do when he gets going, but how much do you feel like is him deferring to Luka is the cause of those slow starts, and how much do you feel like it's what you guys are doing to affect him and to maybe discourage his offense early on?
I'm not quite sure with him and Luka what they have going on, but just, for us, if we can get him playing against our half-court defense, it's a little easier it's still hard to corral, Kyrie, but he's getting a lot of his points in transition, playing fast, walk up threes and things like that. We turn the basketball over when we have a bad offensive possession. So just getting back, getting loaded to him. We know he's a special player. We just can't gift him points. We can't let him get pull up threes in transition with no contest. We can't let him reject burst blitzes. We can't let him dribble around blitzes. And so just trying to corral him, make him play in the crowd, because when he plays free, we see what he can do.
Ty, coming into the series, before game one, it sounded like you guys were counting on Kawhi to come back. Just at this point, are you guys still expecting him back? And if he does come back, have you guys have to maybe adjust your expectations on what you can get out of him?
Yeah, we're not sure when he's coming back. It's a day-to-day thing, and he's feeling good, and medical says he's clear to go, and that's what we're gonna do. But right now, we're just focused on tonight.
You and Dallas have played 11 games against each other in the postseason in the last 2 times you guys have met. Home team's only won 3 of those 11 games. Obviously, home court's important, but how would you assess kind of how it hasn't been as important in these series compared to some others?
I don't know. I think if you're a good team, you got to be able to win on the road. So we showed that out season long, but we are one of the best road teams in the league. And so, if you lose a game or drop a game like we did in game 2, we have the confidence that we can go on the road and win the game. So it's kind of been our mindset and our model for you.
Tied with the addition of James and PG, it seems like their chemistry without Kawhi seems to be just as successful. What is it about the dynamic of those 2 players working together?
I think when you have, like I said, 3 great players in James, PG and Kawhi, they're all just trying to play, not step on each other's toes, and so you got to kind of share the wealth. I think, with Kawhi being out, now his guys can be ultra aggressive offensively, looking to score the basketball, having more touches and getting in more of a rhythm, So it's just something that we've kind of gotten used to the last 3 weeks of the season. When Kawhi was out, we found out a way we need to play and how we wanted to play, and they just kind of rolled that experience for the last 3 weeks of the season into the playoffs.
Coach Lue, who's starting tonight in place of Kawhi?
Up here.
And are you one that believes role players play better at home, and why is that? Why don't you believe that? It's because when you were playing, I know.
Just role players, you do what you do every night. You play hard, you take the defensive challenge, and you might get 4 or 5 shots that you step up and you may knock them down, or you may not. So I wouldn't necessarily say they play better at home. I just think you just come in and do your job every single night.